Good morning, girls. Well, girls, today we will continue with the remaining part of the lesson. So, where did we stop yesterday? Yes, about where the little boy wanted to go out, and the grandmother, the old lady there, was watching over the children of the village, not allowing them to go where she thought it would be dangerous for them. She didn't allow them to roam near the water tank because they'd fall into the tank. She didn't allow them to go near the berry trees, but because it was dangerous, they might climb the tree and fall from there. And she didn't even allow them to look at the beautiful clear water with fishes jumping in it because she was afraid that they might drown there. So the children did not like this. They wanted to go out and play and do what they want. And so they always tried to avoid her and tried to slip past her. That was the last line. They tried to find ways to slip past her, to go away from her sight. So let's continue now. Now, girls, let's continue from where we had stopped. But with the experience of her 80 long years, the old woman could see through all their tricks and schemes and nip them in the bud. The old woman scolded him. I am here. What are you scared of? Go and sleep, or I'll come over. So, here we see that this old lady who prevents all the children from going out, she has a long experience of these children, and she is almost 80 years old, so she knows about all the children and their tricks, their mischievous pranks, and how they design to go out and play without her knowing. And so she nips them in the bud. This expression, nipping someone in the bud, means stopping things at an early stage. So she halts them in the early stage itself. So before they can go, she stops them. And she scolds this little boy, saying, Why are you scared? I am here. Go and sleep. What are you scared of when I am here? So now we turn the page to see what happens next. The boy came out of the hut and said, It's time to get out anyway. Where will you go at this time of the day? Nowhere, Grandma. The boy took a few steps forward. Grandma put away her basket and the long needle. But before she could get up, he ran out of her reach. The old woman changed tack. Gently she called out, Don't go anyway this time, my child. Fandan shouted from where he was standing, I am going to look for Jatin, and ran away. So here grandma is trying to stop him, saying don't go, and now she changes tack, means she changed her way of talking, she changed the method of saying, and now she gently tries to tell him not to go anyway. But still Fandan runs off, saying he's looking out for Jatin. He's going to look for Jatin. So who's Jatin? Jatin was a hawker. He had started coming to this village recently. He was sure to come every evening. Instead of money for his goods, he would be paid in grain, somewhat higher than the cost of his fare. The villagers' measure inclined towards generosity, so he would walk 4 or 5 miles from the neighboring village to ply his fare. His basket was laden with sweet and salty sev, til or ramdana laddu, some batasha, kutti, and other local goodies. It was covered with an old tattered cloth. To the children it seemed like manna from heaven, and they would hunger for one glimpse of the basket. In their childish enthusiasm and curiosity, catching a glimpse of the basket was enough to fill them with pleasure. They would await his arrival anxiously, although only a few were privileged to partake of this manna. It was still a source of great joy for the boys to gather around his basket, lift the cloth, and peer at the delicacy sitting like a coy princess. Jatin's arrival created a great commotion, and for half an hour The village seemed caught in a storm. In truth, his arrival was more an occasion for despair than happiness, but the children were always excited to welcome the event anew. They waited impatiently, even the sight of sweets which may not find a way to their mouths gladdened their hearts. Now, girls, you see in this paragraph that Fandan was looking out for Jatin, the hawker. Who's a hawker? One who sells different kinds of goods, or some, it might be even some eatables, or maybe fruits and vegetables. It can be anything. You even have bangle sellers coming around. So in villages, people come around like this. Sometimes they bring their ware in carts, sometimes they carry things on their head. And here Jatin the hawker comes with a basket on his head, selling different kinds of snacks or goodies for children to eat. And some of them are his basket is always laden with sweet and salty save, or the til, or the Ram Laddu, they call Ramdana Laddu. So different kinds of things for children to eat, which is locally made there in the village. And the children all are so excited when Jatin comes. They say it is like manna from heaven to them. To the children, it seems like manna from heaven. What does manna from heaven means? This is a reference to the Bible, girls. Manna from heaven means actually, in the Bible, the Israelites were provided with manna from heaven. God blessed them with this manna, and so that they could nourish themselves while crossing a desert. So manna from heaven actually is a biblical reference, but here it means that it's like a blessing for them, a gift to the children, something very good for them. And so it was like manna from heaven, and they would hunger for one glimpse of the basket. They just want to look once at the basket. That itself brought them great delight. And their childish enthusiasm and curiosity, they were so eager, so curious to know what the basket contained, and all of them wanted to have just a glimpse of the basket. What is a glimpse? Just a glance, a short look at the basket. And then the boys would gather around Jatin, and they would, and all these delicacies that he has brought will be sitting like a coy princess, a shy princess in the basket. They are comparing the delicacies to a coy princess sitting in a basket. And all these children will come around. There's great noise and confusion, commotion when Jatin comes, because everyone wants to have a glimpse of the basket. Some even cannot afford to buy it, but they only want to see. Only the sight of the sweets will gladden their hearts. See, they say even the sight of sweets which may not find a way to their mouths gladden their hearts. That means some of them can't even afford to buy these sweets, but just the sight, just looking at the sweets will make their hearts happy. So this is what they tell you in this paragraph. So let's go on to the next paragraph, girls. Fandan was one such poor boy. Other boys ate the sweets, but he could only stare at them hungrily. He could only stare at them hungrily. No amount of crying, begging, entreating, or flattering could grant his wish. He was destined for failure, but the failure never dampened his spirits. Today, Fandan did not take his afternoon nap. Jatin had promised to get new gari and imarti. In the boys' world, this was going to be a historic moment. They had been waiting since morning for Jatin. How could one close one's eyes? Reaching the garden, Fandan thought, it's not evening yet. Jatin is usually here by now. But maybe not. It's still early. Chunnu, Sohan and Kalu are still asleep. Jatin must have reached the main road. He is sure to get the imarti, red and shiny. Once long ago, yes, at the Dasara Mela, I had tried imarti. How sweet it was! His mouth salivated at the memory. The longing grew. He had now left the garden behind. There was a wide field that led to the main road. but no sign of Jatin. For a while, Fandan waited for Jatin at the edge of the village. He was excited. He wanted to be the first to greet Jatin today. I will lead him to the village. Everyone will be so surprised. Such thoughts excited him further. His heart dancing, he moved towards the road, clapping his hands. So, here, girls, you see the excitement that Jatin is going to come, and they are all waiting for him. Fandan was a poor boy who could not afford to eat the sweets, but he just would stare at them hungrily. So, this boy was so poor that he couldn't even buy the sweets from Jatin. But this did not disappoint him. He was satisfied with just looking at the sweets, and nothing could get him no amount of crying, begging, whether he cried or begged, no one would grant him his wish because his parents could not afford maybe to buy him those sweets. But this failure never dampened his spirits. Never dampened his spirits means this never disappointed him. His spirits were always high, flying high with excitement and enthusiasm. And today he was waiting for Jatin. So he says, here, Jatin promised to get something new for them, to get raw gari and imarti, whatever that means. But that was something very nice for the children, and they waited for that. It was a historic moment for them. So how could they close their eyes? How could they even sleep? Thinking of Jatin, they couldn't even sleep, bringing the new sweets and coming. And then you see, Fandan was thinking about when Jatin would arrive. He says, it's not evening yet, he says, because he's wondering to himself, if it's yet evening, if it's already evening, then he says, must be it's still early, that Jatin has not come as yet. And all his other friends, Chunnu, Sohan and Kullu, they are all still asleep. And today I am going to be the first one to meet him. That's what he says. I'll be the first one to meet him and I will lead him, he says. And the thought of that imarti, whatever the sweet, it was red and shiny, something that was very tasty for Fandan, and his mouth salivated. You know, when you like something, your mouth waters for it. So he says his mouth salivated for it. And now he was near the fields. He left the garden where he walked out far behind. And now he was in the wide field. And that led to the main road. So he thought, I'll go there and I'll be the first one to greet Jatin today. And he wanted to lead Jatin, and so that the others will all find it so exciting, and this thought made him feel so happy, and his heart dancing means he was feeling so happy, overjoyed, and he moved towards the road, clapping his hands. He was so happy over it that he was going to be the first one to bring Jatin to the other boys in the village. He was going to lead him there. Well, children, I think I'll stop here for today. We shall continue the remaining part tomorrow. So have a good day, girls. Thank you.